What's happening? Rob here, Old City Vapors, with another video for Weird Wednesday. Yeah. What are we talking about this time around? Well, here I am sitting in the house from the last couple of videos. I was telling you about the weird noises and this and that, and the cabinets and the camping gear utensils, what it sounded like being dumped down the hallway last week. Now I'm sitting here and making a video for Weird Wednesday, and listen. Crickets. Nothing. It's quiet as a church house mouse here. That's kind of the way it's been all week. Nothing really happening. No weird noises, none of that. No weird feelings, no cigarette smoke, no perfume, no cabinets even opening and closing this week. Just been quiet. Still. Not much going on. So, what do I talk about when there's nothing happening here? I go back to the future. Back in the future. Back in the past? I don't know. I go back in time and tell you about stories from like the house I grew up in and previous homes that I've lived in throughout my years here in St. Augustine, Florida. So this one is a story about the house that I grew up in. I mentioned this in some other videos, but to anybody that's new, my new subscribers and stuff, if you haven't seen Weird Wednesday, it's not all about vaping, even though I am vaping in the video. It's about weird stuff. Just weird stuff in general. Could be about ghosts, could be about UFOs, could be about Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, alien abductions, could be about anything, but this one in particular is about the house I grew up in and the weird stuff that happened there. This story is goes back to when I was probably about 14. Now I don't really know for sure how old this house is. My mom and my stepdad still own it. They are getting ready to put it on the market. It's going to be for sale anytime now. And I still am planning to go and do a Weird Wednesday video from the attic that still haunts my 50-year-old ass to this day. Anyway. This is, like I say, I don't know how old the house is. My dad bought it for my mom. I was about 4 years old when he bought it. They weren't in it not even a year, and he was in the attic doing some stuff, going through stuff, and had a heart attack and died. I often wonder about that. Did something just like freak him out, scare him, give him a heart attack? I don't know. Couldn't really ask him any questions because, like I say, he did. Anyway, this is later on in the years, you know. I'm about 14, 15 years old. And when my dad bought the house, I mentioned this in some other older Weird Wednesday videos. The lady that sold it to him, there was a lady and her husband that owned the house, the Blaisdells, and he had died, and so it was just her there, and she sold the place for a smoking deal to my dad, who bought it kind of as a surprise for my mom. Said, "Hey, I bought a house. It's big. It's huge. It's 4 or 5 bedrooms, big, huge living room, gigantic kitchen, dining room, front porch, back porch, upper balcony. It's got all. It's way bigger than the house that we previously had. But when she sold it for a really good deal and packed up her bag or two and split and left everything else there: pictures, books, clothes, paintings. The attic was crammed full of old steamer trunks full of, you name it, all kinds of stuff. Silver, like forks and knives and plates and china and books and old magazines and old clothes and old photos, family albums, Split. She's out of here. She sold the house. I always kind of wondered about that. Why was she in such a hurry to leave? Granted, she was really old, and maybe she just said, screw it, I'm not dragging all this crap with me. You bought the house, it's your problem now. I'm going off. I don't know where she went from there. I never did get that story. But anyways, up until I'm about 14, 15 years old, that's when this story takes place. I had gone through one of the parts of the attic with my mom, my stepdad, and some other people up there at the time, but I dug through there and found this old painting. There was a bunch of old paintings, but one of them in particular just caught my eye. It was cool. It was of this old kind of seafarer captain looking guy, kind of a white beard, and he had this nice jacket on, and but it was one of those paintings that was kind of creepy. It was one of those ones where no matter where you moved, the eyes kind of followed you. But hey, I was a creepy ass little kid anyways, growing up in a creepy house, so I figured, hey, I'm gonna hang this in my room. Asked my mom, and she was like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. So I took it, hung it in my room. On the wall, in my bedroom, is where it was. I was a weird kid. I was a surfer kid, a skateboarder. I had tons of surfer magazines, skateboarder magazines. Had surfboards in my room, skateboards, and I had this picture of this old guy that reminded me of like an old sea captain. Kind of fit, with the ocean and all that. Don't know exactly who it was. What I've been told is it was actually a portrait that the wife had done of her husband that had passed away there. I found this out later. Don't know 100% if that's true or not. All I know is it's a really old painting of this kind of cool but creepy looking old sea captain looking guy. Got it on the wall in my room. It had been there for a year, maybe 2 years. I don't know. Been there a long time. I'm going to bed one night, and I'm in my bed, getting chilled out. I'm reading a surfer magazine, got my little light on, had a radio going. I would always sleep with a radio or a fan or something. Even to this day, I gotta have the fan on or something making some noise so it's not just dead quiet like it is right now. Anyway, I'm going to bed, getting ready for bed, and reading a magazine, and I'm hearing this. These kind of noises, these bumps. I'm like, whatever. Had my bedroom door closed, and it, all the bedroom doors and everything are these like solid, heavy, real wood, like oak doors with like crystal doorknobs and stuff that would, click, lock, latch. It was nothing for the doors to just, open, swing open, go back closed, lock again, all by themselves. Saw that happen, I don't know how many times. Saw it so much that it just stopped freaking me out after a while. I'm like, well, that's odd. But had my bedroom door closed. I'm starting to drift off to sleep, Put the magazine down, turned my light off, got the radio on, listening to like, who knows what at the time. Something on the radio. Anyway, drifting off to sleep. Hearing this bump, bang, bump, clank. Wake up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Whatever, drift off back to sleep. And all of a sudden it's like, bam! Not only did I hear it, but I felt it. It felt like something hit my bed. It actually like shook. So that kind of, I'm looking around, I don't see anything. Just like a night of weird noises and stuff was going on. I was having a hard time falling asleep. Finally, drifted back off to sleep. And then I started having weird dreams. woke myself up somehow, or something woke me up, and I'm just like kind of all freaked out. Just these weird dreams that didn't make any sense. Part of it was there's an old man that's like in our house, and I didn't know who he was. My mom didn't know who he was. I'm like running from him, and he's like following every room I would go in. He would be there, and I woke up and I'm all freaked out. I'm like, what the hell, man? And laying there, like, change positions. You have a bad dream. Sometimes you like change positions, so maybe you won't dream in that again. So that was my plan anyways. Didn't really work. I'm laying there, and I hear this noise, this kind of, like, the best I can describe it is a grinding noise, like something heavy being ground really, like, intensely. Like, man, turn the radio up a little bit, go back to sleep, start having these freaking same dream again. Every room I'm in, this old man's there. I'm running out. I go to the next room. I go down the hallway. There's this old man. I couldn't get away from him. And I never really got a full-on look, like, face-to-face. So, you might be thinking, is it the guy in the painting? I don't know. Because I never got the full frontal on the dude. Because all I know is every corner I turn, here he is, and I'm running, and he's just like that. You're hauling ass, and they're like moving real slow. So you think you could get away from him? No, you turn the corner, and there they are. So in my dream, I'm hearing this, like, I go to a room, and I hear this, like, ripping noise. And I'm thinking, in my dreams, I'm thinking it's like he's dragging an axe down the hallway or something. Who knows? Hearing these grinding noises. Now I'm asleep. I'm dreaming. I'm hearing these grinding, tearing noises and what have you. Sucky night of trying to be asleep. Trying to be asleep. So now I get woken up again, and it's bam, hits my bed again. I'm instantly awake. I'm like, what the, I'm laying there, and my radio had gone off. I instantly turned the radio back on, turn it up a little bit more, and I'm laying there kind of contemplating my dreams and thinking, was that real? Did that really just happen? Was my bed, like, bumped by something? And I'm laying there contemplating the dream, and I'm just like, what does this old man have to do, and what is all this, like, grinding and ripping noises and this and that? I'm laying there, and the sun's starting to come up now. I'm like, kind of shook it off again and reach over, and I turn my little bedside light on, and roll over, and I pick up a surfing magazine, and looking at that, listening to the music, trying not to think about it, And I kind of look up across the room, and I'm like, did one of these. I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. That picture that that was still hanging on the wall with the creepy old seafarer captain looking guy that his eyes would follow you everywhere. Like I say, that picture had been there, hanging there for probably almost 2 years in the same spot, And when I looked up and looked at it, I was instantly kind of like shocked, because it was a decent sized picture, probably 2 feet by 3 feet, maybe a little bigger. This old wooden frame, nice frame, hanging there. Didn't have glass over it or anything, but it was just been, like I say, it had been hanging there for a long time, year or two, probably closer to 2 years. Well, that picture was ripped from the top corner all the way to the bottom corner, almost like somebody took a knife and just went and ripped it across. That sound that I was hearing in my dream, was I really hearing that, or was I dreaming that? I don't know, but I do know for a fact that this picture was ripped right across the face of this old man that was in the picture. And I still have that picture. It is still over in my mom and dad's house. Ripped. Yeah, I kept it. Even though it was like ripped, I kept it. When we go over to, they got the house, they're going to put it up for sale anytime now. I'm going to go over there and get some stuff. I'm probably going to get that picture. Just because, I don't know. Because I'm a freaking weirdo. I don't know. But it is still there. I asked my mom about it not too long ago, and she's like, yeah, I believe it's still up there. And I took it down off the wall, But initially, when I saw it, I was like, what the hell? Got up, went down the hall, woke my mom up. By the way, she was the only one there. Me and her were the only ones there. My stepdad at the time was out on a boat delivery job or something somewhere. It was just me and her there. Went and woke her up, and I'm like, did anything weird happen last night? She's like, huh? I said, were you hearing things? And she's like, well, not really. Why? And I'm like, well, I was hearing weird stuff all night, and what happened to the painting in my room? She's like, what do you mean, what happened to it? I'm like, get up, come here, look. Drug her out down the hall. She walks in, she's like, what did you do? What did I do? I just tried to get a good night's sleep, and was dreaming all kinds of weird crap about this and that, and hearing tearing and grinding noises, and I wake up, and well, there you go. I don't know what I did. Did I do it? Did I get up in my sleep and do it? I don't think so. But if I didn't do it and she didn't do it, who did it? I don't know. I do know that I think my battery's going dead. So, there you go. I don't know. Who did it? Who tore the old sea captain in half, hanging on my wall? You tell me. I don't have an answer. See you next time for Weird Wednesday. Bye-bye.